Imagine a path etched not just in stone, but in the very fabric of human consciousness. A journey walked over 2.5 millennia ago, yet whose echoes still resonate, profoundly shaping the lives of millions today. This is not merely a historical pilgrimage, it is a sacred circuit, tracing the very footsteps of one of humanity's greatest spiritual luminaries. Every step he took, every land he blessed, every teaching he imparted, left an indelible mark, transforming ordinary places into hallowed grounds. Today, we embark on an extraordinary exploration, a journey through the Buddhist Circuit. The sacred and historical places where Gautama Buddha lived, awakened, and taught. These are lands where history and myth have intertwined, where ancient memorials stand as silent witnesses not only to the Buddha's own transformative journey but also to the countless stories of his devoted followers. For over 500 million Buddhists worldwide, this pilgrimage is deeply spiritual, a profound connection to the very source of their faith. But its universal appeal extends far beyond, drawing people of all religions and walks of life to touch the golden threads of a history that shaped humanity. Prepare to discover the places that witnessed awakening, the sites where wisdom was first unveiled, and the profound lessons etched into the very soil where the Buddha once walked. Chapter 1. The Sacred Geography, the Buddhist Circuit unveiled. Like all great religions, Buddhism has its own sacred and historical places, sites imbued with spiritual significance through their connection to its founder and early development. Wherever Gautama Buddha stepped, wherever his physical form graced the earth, that land is considered profoundly pious. Even today, the stories of these hallowed places are so ancient, so deeply interwoven with time, that history and myths have become one, creating a rich tapestry of faith and legend. The memorials standing here today are witnesses not only to the Buddha's own unparalleled journey to enlightenment but also to the countless stories of his devoted followers. Their struggles, their triumphs, and their profound transformations. The Buddhist circuit is primarily spread across North India and a small but crucial part of East Nepal. Even today, Buddhists from all over the world travel countless miles, crossing continents and cultures, to visit these historical places that are intimately connected to the Buddha's life. For the over 500 million Buddhists of the world, this journey is not just a tour, it is a deeply spiritual pilgrimage. A profound act of devotion, a way to connect directly with the Dhamma's origins. When he was alive, the Buddha himself had, with his characteristic wisdom, encouraged Buddhists to visit all these religious places, recognizing their power to inspire and deepen one's practice. The universal appeal of these sites transcends religious boundaries. This Buddhist circuit is not only visited by Buddhists, people from all religions. Drawn by its universal messages of peace, compassion, and wisdom, also undertake this journey. The ancient buildings and monuments present here are a precious heritage not only for the Buddhists but for the entire world, representing a shared human legacy of spiritual seeking and profound philosophical development. In the Buddhist circuit, specific places that were pivotal in Buddha's lifespan are visited, forming the core pilgrimage route. They primarily include four most pious places: Lumbini, Nepal, the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama; Bodh Gaya, India, the place of his enlightenment; Sarnath, India, where he gave his first sermon; Kushinagar, India, the place of his parinirvana, passing away. The historical and spiritual importance of all these places connected to the Buddha was significantly increased by Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan emperor, who reigned in the 3rd century BCE. After converting to Buddhism, Emperor Ashoka became a fervent patron and a pivotal figure in the spread of the Dhamma. He first visited all these places himself, embarking on pilgrimages to honor the Buddha. Then, with immense devotion and resources, he commissioned the construction of numerous temples, stupas, dome-shaped structures containing relics, and pillars, Ashokan pillars, often inscribed with Dhamma edicts, at these sacred sites. In this way, the tradition of visiting and venerating these places was firmly established and institutionalized, making them accessible and recognizable for future generations of pilgrims. Buddhist insight. This section introduces the core concept of sacred sites in Buddhism, emphasizing their role as points of inspiration and connection to the Buddha and his Dhamma. The mention of karma in the previous responses ties into the idea of pilgrimage as a way to generate merit. Ashoka's role highlights the historical intersection of spiritual and political power in Buddhism's early spread. The universal appeal of the circuit transcends sectarianism, reflecting the Dhamma's inherent truth for all. The focus on the four main sites emphasizes the key events of the Buddha's life as foundational for the pilgrimage. Chapter 2. Sarnath, the birthplace of the Dhamma wheel. Sarnath, located just 10 kilometers away from the bustling city of Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, is revered as the birthplace of Buddhism itself. Legend has it that the Buddha selected this serene place, filled with peace and lush greenery, for his first teaching because of its inherent tranquility, a perfect backdrop for the profound truths he was about to unveil. In those ancient times, this sacred spot was known as Rishipathan, meaning the place where rishis, sages, descended, or Marigadaya, meaning deer park. Intriguingly, in the Jataka tales, stories of the Buddha's past lives, it is mentioned that the Buddha himself, in one of his past births, had resided in this very place as a deer, embodying compassion and non-violence even then. Even today, a number of deer can be found roaming freely at this place, adding to its peaceful ambiance and connecting it to these ancient legends. After attaining supreme enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, the Buddha, having overcome his initial hesitation to teach, journeyed to Sarnath. It was in this very place that he delivered his first profound sermon, turning the wheel of the Dhamma, Dharmachakra Pravartana Sutta, to his 5 former companions, the ascetics. This pivotal event formally initiated the public dissemination of the Dhamma. Today, a significant stupa called Chakandi Stupa stands here, believed to mark the spot where the Buddha first met these 5 disciples upon his arrival. It is said that 2,500 years ago, this very sermon led to the revolutionary spread of Buddhism's Dharma Chakra religious wheel. This Dharma Chakra, metaphorically, began its ceaseless journey, traveling across lands and cultures, through countless generations, to other countries, tirelessly spreading the liberating truths of Buddhism. The Buddhist Sangha, the community of monks and nuns, was formally established after this momentous event, creating a living lineage of practitioners to preserve and propagate the teachings. The foundational mantra of Buddhism, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, I go for refuge to the Buddha, which signifies taking refuge in the Awakened One, originated from Sarnath. The magnificent Dhammek Stupa stands prominently here today. It is believed to mark the exact spot where the Buddha delivered his first sermon. Built in the 5th century AD, these impressive remains of a 128-foot long and 93-foot wide religious stupa stand as a testament to its ancient glory. Behind it lies the Mulgandakuti Vihara temple, where it is said the Buddha used to rest and meditate. The Chinese Buddhist pilgrim Huan Sang, Xuanzang, described this temple in detail in his travelogues. Centuries later, after converting to Buddhism, Emperor Ashoka, a pivotal figure in the spread of Buddhism, visited Sarnath around 273 BCE. He commissioned the construction of a magnificent stupa here, which had a majestic lion statue on its top, the famous Ashoka pillar. This very lion statue is the national emblem of India today, a symbol of sovereignty and righteousness, deeply rooted in Buddhist history. Buddhist insight. Sarnath's significance as the site of the Dharmachakra Pravartana, first sermon, and the establishment of the Sangha makes it central to the Buddhist circuit. The references to Jataka tales and the deer park link the Buddha's past lives and his inherent compassion to the physical location. The Chakandi and Dhammek stupas mark the key events. Ashoka's patronage highlights the historical institutionalization and spread of Buddhism, while the national emblem connection shows the enduring cultural impact of Buddhist principles in India. This section emphasizes the foundation of the Dhamma and its historical manifestation. Chapter 3. The birthplace and the final resting place, Lumbini and Kushinagar. From Sarnath, our journey continues to 2 other profoundly significant sites in the Buddhist circuit, Lumbini and Kushinagar, marking the very beginning and the very end of the Buddha's earthly life. Lumbini, the sacred birthplace. The next important place on the circuit is Lumbini. Located in present-day Nepal, it is universally revered as the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, along with the nearby ancient city of Kapilavastu. For many centuries, while Buddhists around the world knew that the Buddha was born in Lumbini, The exact physical location was lost to history. It was only in 1886 that this sacred place was definitively rediscovered by a British archaeologist, Alois Anton Führer, who found an Ashokan pillar confirming the site. Even today, the serene garden where Buddha was born can be seen here. A renowned Japanese architect named Kenzo Tange has meticulously decorated and developed this area, enhancing its spiritual ambiance. Today, Lumbini is officially recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing pilgrims and visitors from across the globe. Close by stands the ancient temple of Queen Maya Devi, Buddha's mother, built around the exact spot of his birth. Also nearby is the sacred old lake called Pushkarni. It is believed that before giving birth to Buddha, Queen Maya took a purifying bath here, and the newborn Buddha was given his very first bath in the same holy lake. Kushinagar, the site of Parinirvana. After Lumbini, our journey takes us to Kushinagar, located in the northeast of Uttar Pradesh, near Gorakhpur, India. This is a particularly special and solemn place in the Buddhist Circuit, for it is here that the Buddha, at the age of 80, consciously gave up his physical body, entering parinirvana, the ultimate release from the cycle of birth and death. He expressed his wish to his close disciple Ananda to spend his last days here. On the banks of the river Haranyavati, the magnificent Mahaparinirvana temple stands here today, housing a striking 6-meter-long statue of the Buddha in his parinirvana pose, reclining on his right side. Facing north, this statue, originally made of black rock, appears to glow like gold because devout pilgrims offer gold leaves on it as an act of reverence. This particular statue was sent by a bhikkhu, monk, named Haribala during the reign of King Kumaragupta in the 5th century AD from Mathura. The exact place where Buddha renounced his body is marked by the Ramhar Stupa, a site of profound meditation and remembrance. There are many other stupas and viharas, monasteries, in Kushinagar, including Makutbandhana Chaitya, many of which were built by Gupta kings, signifying continued patronage. Kushinagar, like Lumbini, was also rediscovered by a British archaeologist, Alexander Cunningham, in 1880, bringing its significance back to light. Today, many Buddhist countries have built their own temples in Kushinagar, creating a vibrant international pilgrimage site. Buddhist insight. Lumbini and Kushinagar mark the beginning and end of the Buddha's physical journey, symbolizing the anicca, impermanence, of even an enlightened being's physical form. The rediscovery of these sites highlights the historical and archaeological grounding of the Buddhist narrative. The Mayadevi Temple and Pushkarni Lake in Lumbini hold significant mythological and spiritual importance related to his birth. Kushinagar's significance as the site of parinirvana is central to the understanding of nirvana as ultimate liberation from samsara. The reclining Buddha statue and Ramhar Stupa are key visual and meditative focal points, inviting reflection on mortality and ultimate peace. Chapter 4. Other sacred sites, tracing the Dhamma's spread. Beyond the 4 primary pilgrimage sites, the Buddhist circuit includes other places of immense historical and spiritual significance, tracing the widespread impact of the Buddha's teachings during his lifetime. Kapilavastu, the home he left and returned to. Kapilavastu is the ancient city where Siddhartha Gautama was raised as a prince. In the ancient period, the place known as Kapilavastu is believed by many scholars to be located at modern-day Piprawa, in the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, India, about 20 kilometers from Siddharth Nagar. This was the site of Buddha's father, King Suddhodana's palace, the gilded cage he left behind. Buddha had left this place at the age of 29 in his great renunciation. After 12 years of his arduous quest, when he attained enlightenment, he returned here to meet his kin, fulfilling his vow to bring the Dhamma to his family. Even today, there is a huge stupa standing in this place, believed by some traditions to contain a portion of the Buddha's ashes, a powerful symbol of his presence. Kaushambi, a center for early preaching. Kaushambi is a significant historical site where the Buddha frequently visited to give his powerful preachings. The Buddha came here in the 6th and 9th year of his enlightenment, spending the rainy season retreats and engaging with the populace. Kaushambi was one of the 6 most prosperous and influential cities in ancient India during the Buddha's era, making it a crucial center for the dissemination of the Dhamma. Sravasti, the monsoon retreat. Sravasti holds immense importance as one of the main shelters for the Buddha and his Sangha during the rainy seasons. It is here, at Jetavana Monastery, that the Buddha spent 24 monsoons, the longest period he stayed in any one place. It was a time of intensive teaching, deeper meditation, and profound spiritual development for his followers. A small town named Gonda is near Gorakhpur, close to the ancient site of Sravasti. Sankesa, a mythical descent. Sankesa is a unique site connected to a profound Buddhist myth. It is believed to be the place where the Buddha descended from Tavatimsa heaven, the heaven of 33 gods, after spending 3 months there, teaching the Dhamma to his deceased mother, Queen Mahamaya, and other devas. This mythical descent is a powerful symbol of the Buddha's compassion extending to even non-human realms and his commitment to liberate all beings. It is believed that at Sankesa, the Buddha gave discipleship to his mother, who had been reborn as a diva. Buddhist insight. These sites collectively form a comprehensive narrative of the Buddha's life and ministry beyond the core four. Kapilvastu, Piprawa, holds emotional significance as his home and the place he returned to share the Dhamma. Kaushambi and Sravasti illustrate the practicalities of the Sangha's life, rainy retreats, and the strategic importance of preaching in major urban centers for the widespread adoption of the Dhamma. Sankesa introduces a mythological element, emphasizing the Buddha's transcendent abilities and universal compassion, extending even beyond the human realm. Chapter 5. The Rise and Fall, and Rediscovery of the Dhamma's Footprints. Buddhism, like any spiritual tradition, experienced periods of great flourishing and challenging decline in its land of origin. In India, Buddhism spread significantly due to the fervent help and patronage from successful kings. Maurya Emperor Ashoka, 3rd century BCE, and Kushan Emperor Kanishka, 1st century CE, were pivotal figures who vigorously encouraged Buddhism, leading to its widespread adoption and strengthening its roots across the Indian subcontinent and beyond. Ashoka, in particular, established countless stupas and pillars, and sent emissaries to spread the Dhamma, truly turning it into a world religion. However, over time, the landscape of Indian spirituality shifted, when the Gupta emperors, 4th–6th centuries CE, began to strongly encourage Hinduism. Promoting various Brahmanical traditions, Buddhism gradually started to decline in India, due to no consistent support from successive kings and ruling dynasties. Buddhism's presence began to wane quickly. People, perhaps finding comfort in older, familiar traditions, easily began to embrace Brahmanical religions again. And then, with the spread of Islam into India from the 12th century onwards, Buddhism, which was already facing a decline, slowly faded even further in its land of origin. Many magnificent temples and sacred Buddhist places were forgotten, their sites covered by vegetation or built over. The entire Buddhist circuit, once a vibrant pilgrimage route, was gradually destroyed or lost to time, completely fading from common memory in India for centuries. But the light of the Dhamma is eternal, and the physical footprints of the Buddha could not be erased forever. This crucial Buddhist circuit was miraculously rediscovered in the 18th and 19th centuries AD by intrepid archaeologists and scholars, many of them British, who, through meticulous research and excavation, painstakingly brought these forgotten sites back to light. Once again, people began to see and believe in the historical reality of these places, rekindling faith and inviting new generations of seekers. Today, the Buddhist circuit offers a unique opportunity to the people of the world, an invitation to literally touch the golden history of India and the profound spiritual legacy of the Buddha. These sites are not just remnants of the past, they are living testaments to a timeless wisdom. In Buddhism, Gautama Buddha's footprint has immense symbolic and spiritual importance. For many years after his passing, the Buddha was not worshipped through statues or images, but symbolically through his footprints, or through the Bodhi tree. These feet hold one more deep spiritual motive which can be understood by pilgrims on the Buddhist circuit. The myriad footprints of the Buddha that we can still see in various places symbolize not just his physical presence, but the path he walked, the journey of awakening. His feet went wherever they could, carrying the Dhamma to all who would listen. And the profound lesson is this: whatever Buddha did, whatever path he walked, we all can do it too. we can walk the same path of liberation. We can experience Buddha's life journey not just as a historical narrative, but as a living, transformative possibility within ourselves. The footprints are an invitation to follow. Buddhist insight. This section covers the historical trajectory of Buddhism in India, highlighting the role of royal patronage, Ashoka, Kanishka, in its flourishing and the impact of the decline of support, Gupta, Islamic spread, on its wane. It introduces the concept of rediscovery, showing the enduring nature of the Dhamma despite historical setbacks. The profound symbolism of the Buddha's footprint is key. It signifies the path to enlightenment is personal and achievable by all. Whatever Buddha did, we all can do it too, emphasizes the universal potential for awakening and self-reliance in Buddhist practice. Conclusion. Walking the Dhamma path, your personal pilgrimage. The Buddhist Circuit is far more than a collection of ancient ruins or historical markers. It is a living, breathing testament to one of humanity's most profound spiritual journeys. It invites us not merely to observe the past, but to engage with it, to walk in the footsteps of the awakened one, and to realize the timeless truths he unveiled. Key learnings for your personal Buddha story. The universality of the Dhamma, the spread of Buddhism and the appeal of the circuit to all faiths underscore the universal relevance of the Buddha's teachings on suffering, impermanence, and liberation. These are truths that resonate with the human condition regardless of belief system. Application. Approach life's challenges and joys with an open mind, seeking understanding beyond dogma. Recognize that wisdom is accessible to all who genuinely seek it. The power of historical connection. Visiting these sacred sites, or even learning about them, can deepen your understanding and commitment to the Dhamma. They serve as tangible reminders of the Buddha's arduous journey and his ultimate success. Application. Allow historical narratives to inspire your personal practice. Reflect on the dedication of past masters. Even if you cannot visit, immersing yourself in the stories and teachings connects you to this profound lineage. Karma and patronage in spiritual spread. The rise and fall of Buddhism in India illustrate how external conditions, royal support, and internal vitality, Sangha's practice, combine to influence the Dhamma's reach. Application. Understand your role in contributing to wholesome causes. Your support, whether through action, generosity, or ethical living, can help propagate positive influences in the world. The footprint as a symbol of potential. The emphasis on the Buddha's footprints symbolizes that the path to enlightenment is not mystical or exclusive. It is a path that was walked by a human being, and thus, a path accessible to all human beings. Application. Don't view enlightenment as an unreachable goal. Recognize that the potential for awakening lies within you. Take one step at a time, diligently following the principles of the Dhamma in your daily life. Every mindful step is a step on your own path to liberation. The journey is personal and continuous. The Buddhist circuit represents a physical journey, but it is ultimately a metaphor for the inner spiritual journey. The rediscovery of these sites in modern times mirrors the continuous rediscovery of the Dhamma's relevance in every generation. Application. Embrace your life as your unique spiritual pilgrimage. Continuously learn, practice, and refine your understanding. The Dhamma is not a static set of rules, but a dynamic, living path of self-transformation. The Buddha's enduring legacy, meticulously preserved in these sacred places and timeless teachings, invites us to embark on our own profound journey. By walking in his metaphorical footsteps, by applying the Dhamma's wisdom to our modern lives, we can transform our own experience of suffering into a boundless wellspring of peace, compassion, and ultimate freedom. Your life is your most precious Buddha story. Thank you for watching, and may you always carry the profound peace and illuminating wisdom of these stories within your heart. Join our growing community by liking this video and subscribing to Buddha Story, where ancient wisdom beautifully meets modern mindfulness. Which of these sacred sites would you most like to visit? And what teaching would you seek to deepen there? Share your reflections and experiences in the comments below. Until our next encounter, may your path be filled with profound peace, deep understanding, and the radiant light of your own awakening.